Welcome.
Announcements, April 8th, 2021, tomorrow, homecoming parade, 5:25 PM. Wear comfortable shoes. April 9th, 2021 is the homecoming dance from 8 PM to 11 PM at the Fairfield High School Alumni Stadium. October 11th, 2021 is Community Conversations from 9 to 10 AM, Conference Room A at the Fairfield Administration Building. October 11th, 2021, there's a community conversation from 6 to 7 PM to Fairfield Township Fire Department Headquarters on Morris Road, 6048 Morris Road. October 13th, 2021, the District Community Diversity Alliance meeting from 6 to 7:30 PM in the Conference Room A at the Fairfield Administration Building. October 15th to October 18th is fall break. There's no school. October 21st, 2021, board meeting, regular session, 6:30 PM, new location, cafeteria, Creekside Middle School. It will not be here in this room. So please mark your calendars if you want to attend that meeting, 6:30 PM in the cafeteria at Creekside Middle School on Nillis Road. Okay, board member comments? Mrs. Shorter?
Yes, and I do have a couple of things that I wanted to share as I make my comments. I do want to say congratulations to the kids and with their upcoming homecoming. That is, such an important event, and I'm glad that we're acknowledging it with the parade and all of the festivities, and we've come a long way. And in transitioning, I still do believe that as a district, we have essentially chosen to have a rougher year than I think we needed to. I do believe that we need to continue to look at the issue as to whether or not we go forward with the mask mandate. Some information that I learned not too long ago. It was an article that was written, and it was basically citing data from the university. It was Children's Hospital. It was a person from Children's Hospital. And they did a study, and they found that 60% of those districts that had mask mandates, like a full-out mask mandate, their cases were lower. And I actually looked at that, and I found that same percentage to be true when I compared Fairfield with Lakota. It was actually 59%. I have the slide on it. I just want to say that we are carrying a burden that we've placed upon ourselves. And when you compare to other districts, it is a little bit more of a load share. In the article, the Wyoming City Schools District was cited. They have 2,000 students. I'm not sure as to how many schools they actually have. But we have 10,000 students. So even if you look at it on a population basis, so we're 5 times larger. Their total number of cases that were positive for August leading up to, I think it was September 16th, they had 16 total positive cases, 16. And so even though they're 5 times smaller, that's 16. If you were to translate that up, that's 80 cases. Our total cases, just to remind people, we've had a total of 289 positive cases in the district since school started as of October 6th. We had 1,300 quarantines. Wyoming City Schools reported 30 quarantines since school started up until sometime in September. I think it was September 16th. So I do believe that we placed a burden on ourselves that is pretty hefty, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this much of a burden when you compare to other districts. Lakota's numbers, if you take the raw numbers, they look misleading. But if you look at the cases per school district, or the cases per school, we are 60% higher. There is a statistical difference in those districts that have mask mandates versus those who don't. And I just want to point out again that we are doing this. This is a choice that we've chosen for ourselves. We're taking a heavier toll. We're paying a higher price than what we really should be paying if we had a mask mandate. So, I know, people are tired of hearing it. I'm tired of seeing positive cases. I do believe that we've hit a little plateau. My data also shows that. And so I hope that we will continue to go in a downward trajectory. But I just want to point out that when you compare a district that's had 1,300 quarantined kids versus a district that's had 30, even factoring that number up, it's just 30 times 5. Okay, that's 150. So when you compare that, there's got to be some price that we are paying for that. It's a sacrifice, and I wonder where it's going to show up. Is it going to show up in testing? Is it going to show up on down the road? Because we've made a choice in not having a mandate. We've had a choice, and I continue to worry about that, and I continue to feel that our burden has been disproportionate, and we placed that on ourselves, and it didn't have to be so heavy. That's what I wanted to mention. I'm grateful that we have more activities this year than we were able to last year. I just do believe that we've had more of what we really should have had. That's it.
All right, thank you for your comments. Mr. Clark?
Yes, thank you. First, thank you for the presenters tonight. Thank you for everything that you talked about and presented to us. And Mr. Martin, Ms. Ogg, Ms. Mays, Ms. Gilbert, who's absent, we miss you, and Mr. Perry, thank you for the work you do on the policies. Looks like Ms. Gilbert had a lot of work to do on that one, so thank you for that hard work. I appreciate the update from 1995. Brian and I'm still Brian's thunder a little bit. We got to visit Fairfield South at the STEM program. It was outstanding. It was so much fun. We got to help out with the s'mores fire pit, and we went through 300 or more s'more kits that night between like an hour and a half. So the kids were having fun. The STEM program had very simple, inexpensive crafts, science projects type stuff for the kids to do and play with, and it was just amazing. There were many, many rooms filled with those kids using their brains and hands to do things like that. So it was a great night. So I'm glad we implemented STEM. Let's see. Mr. Smith and Mr. Crapo, thank you again for all your hard work in general, but specifically with the tracing with COVID. It's not easy, so thank you for your quality, consistency on the reporting and getting it from solid agencies to bring back to us. I think consistency is very important. And thank the staff too, the teachers and the cafeteria, everyone who has to report back to us. We know it's not fun and easy, but we thank you for what you do. So thank you for that. Going back to the mask comment that Ms. Shorter made, thank you for bringing that up. I think the demographics you also have to look at. You compare apples to apples. If we're going to look at Wyoming, I think we need to find out much more detail on family dynamics as well. Parents not being at home, parents being at home. Lakota has, 16,000 kids. They also have 23 buildings?
25.
25?
25
Okay.
For
So
actual school buildings.
Okay, so that's even a lower number. If I divided that out, that's about 600 kids per building, and we're almost 900 kids per building. So it's not completely comparing apples to apples. So if we do want to compare that, I think we need to get deeper data. But I think we're doing a great job. The kids are happy. I see a big difference in kids' attitudes, their mentality, their playfulness. So I think their overall health of their emotion, depression, happiness, all those emotions that go together, I think that plays a big part in why we're doing what we're doing right now as well. Not to say that COVID it is not an issue, because it absolutely is. And I'll say, continue to wash your hands, because flu season is here. Don't forget that. That does still exist. Flu is still a thing. And don't forget to wash your thumbs. But I thank you all for everything that you do, and I appreciate it. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clark. Mrs. Gundram?
I also got to visit STEM night. I went to North, and it was a lot of fun. My daughter liked it very much. I kind of thought, at her age, what are they really going to do? But she had a blast. And you know, they were cute little projects that she's even wanted to just recreate at home, too. So thank you to everybody who put that on, because it was a lot of fun for her, and she was super interested in it. So anything we can do to fuel that love of learning and love of STEM is great. Otherwise, I just want to wish the football team good luck, and I hope that everyone who participates in homecoming festivities this weekend is smart and safe, especially in their driving, and I hope everyone enjoys their fall break.
All right, thank you. Mr. Bagley?
Yeah, just to piggyback that, it was a recent board meeting where the principals from Central, Principal Gallo and Principal Bauer, came and presented on the STEM activities that they were doing at their school, and I think this board felt it was important that the other elementaries also participate, and it certainly looks like they have, maybe beyond school hours. Mr. Clark alluded to South and what we did there, and that was very well attended. And as he said, you know, building cubes with gumballs and toothpicks, or making other items with pieces of spaghetti and small marshmallows, using aluminum foil to build boats that would float in water. These are very expensive, easy tools, hands-on learning for our kids to introduce them to some of these basic concepts within the STEM field. So I hope all of our elementaries are doing that in one capacity or another, either during the day or in the evenings. And judging by what we've seen so far, it's a huge success and a big part of our future moving forward. As for homecoming, I'm so excited. Mrs. Shorter and myself both have a senior at Fairfield High, and then they're going to be able to have a homecoming. It's going to be under the stars. That, of course, is the theme, and it looks like the weather's going to cooperate, so very excited for all the kids. Have a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you. So early voting has started in Butler County, and so I'd like to congratulate Mr. Begley and Mrs. Gundram and Mr. Clark. At this point, you should have at least 1 or 2 votes, and so that's enough to get reelected. So congratulations. And congratulations to Miss Birding, who also should have enough votes by now to get elected. So congratulations on that. I would encourage everyone to go out. I know several people in the city of Fairfield. That city council will be adding new members, and there's a tight mayor race. And so please go out and vote. Those candidates have worked very hard to earn your vote and take part in the process. It should be a low voter turnout. I think they're predicting about 19%. So there should not be any excuses. There shouldn't be any lines. It should be an easy process. With that being said, I also want you to notice I'm wearing pink tonight. October has historically been Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so I encourage everyone to encourage all the women in your lives to please go take care of themselves, get checked out, and make sure that they are around for years to come. Okay, with that being said, there is a necessity to recess to executive session to discuss the discipline of public employees, 121.22G1, and court action, 121.22G3, pending or imminent litigation. Is there a motion to convene to executive session?
So moved.
Second?
I heard Mrs. Gundram and Mr. Begley. Any questions or comments from the board? I do not anticipate any action to follow executive session. Mrs. Lane, will you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Gundram?
Yes.
Mrs. Shorter?
Yes.
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Mr. Birding?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Motion passes. We convene executive session at 8:19 p.m. Thank you all very much for coming.